Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. In today's fun What's in the Garage video, we'll be taking a look at 3 of my classic Yamaha restoration projects. One of the questions I'm often asked on this channel is, what motorcycles do you currently have in the garage? And while that changes on a very regular basis, I thought it would be fun to go through the bikes that I currently have, brand by brand. I currently have 2 classic Yamahas in the garage. Both of those bikes are the 1986 FJ1200s. I will feature the completed FJ1200 in this video, and as a bonus, I'll also include 2 of my previous Yamaha restoration projects. The first one is the 1980 XS1100 Special, and the second one is the 1982 Yamaha XJ1100 Maxim. As we look at each of the bikes, I'll give a little bit of the history on each one. I'll also talk about what work I did and what modifications I made during the restoration process. And then we'll take each of these classic Yamahas out on the road to see what they're like to ride. I have featured each of these bikes on this channel previously. I've included a playlist for each one on the channel. And additionally, as we go through them, I'll provide a link to the review video for each one. So if you want to do a deep dive and look more into that model and the specs of the model and have a more extended ride portion of the video, you can watch the review video. The first bike we'll look at is Yamaha's 1980 XS1100 Special. This bike is based heavily on the Yamaha XS1100 standard style version. The standard style model was designed as a touring bike. As such, it was very smooth and it had a powerhouse of an 1100cc motor in it. When it first debuted in 1978, the XS1100 standard model was the quickest production motorcycle to date. When you ride the XS1100 Special, you can clearly feel that touring bike heritage, and you can clearly feel the power and the smoothness from that big 1100cc motor. This bike also has a 5-speed transmission and shaft final drive. I bought this bike several years ago as a non-runner, and I've gone through the process of getting it back on the road. In the process, I rebuilt the entire brake system. I installed Spiegler steel braided brake lines on it. I also replaced the front rotors with EBC units. I replaced the rear shocks as well. And I also mounted a lower handlebar for better control in the corners. Let's see what it's like to ride. Still a quick bike. And it's still a powerhouse. If you like great motorcycle videos and you want to help support this channel, please consider becoming a member. Members get perks like early access to new videos and bonus content on this channel, and your support will help me continue to make great quality motorcycling videos for you to enjoy. And I just want to give a special shout out to all of my members and subscribers and those of you who participate in the comment section of this channel. Thank you guys so much. I could not do this without you. The next bike up is Yamaha's 1982 XJ1100 Maxim. The Maxim 1100 was the follow-on model to the XS1100 Special. As such, it features the same big powerhouse, air-cooled, 8-valve, 4-cylinder motor as the XS1100. It also features a 5-speed transmission and shaft final drive. The styling on the standard style XJ1100 was significantly changed over that of the XS1100 Special, with a more dished out seat and individual handlebars on aluminum risers instead of the traditional tube style handlebars. Another difference between the XJ1100 and XS1100 was that the XJ had linked brakes. The way that functioned on the XJ1100 was if you squeeze the front brake lever, it activated a single front caliper, and if you depress the foot pedal for the rear brake, it actually activated the rear brake and one caliper in the front of the motorcycle. I bought the XJ1100 a couple of years ago, and even though it ran when I bought it, it didn't run very well. So after I purchased it, I went through and restored it. I rebuilt the entire brake system on the bike. I also added Spiegler steel braided brake lines to the bike. I replaced the rear shocks with shocks from Progressive, and I also installed Progressive fork springs in the front of the motorcycle. All of those upgrades really transformed the handling on this bike, and it allowed the bike to handle very nicely and very easily. This XJ1100 has the optional Yamaha front fairing on it, and while it gives excellent wind protection and it's really nice to ride behind that fairing, it has some serious 80s funk to the styling. In my mind, it's one of those bikes that's so ugly it's cool. This XJ also has aftermarket mufflers on it. Let's see what it's like to ride. From this big 1100cc 4-cylinder is abundant. This thing just gets up and boogies. And you don't even have to wind it up through the gears to really have, I would say, stout acceleration. It accelerates nicely. Doesn't sound bad with the 4-into-2. And it picks up speed out of the corners very nicely. Handling is very nice, well composed. Acceleration out of the corners is smooth and strong.
Yeah, very nice.
The next bike up is the 1986 Yamaha FJ1200. The FJ1200 was king of the Top Gear roll-on test in the 80s, and it beat such formidable bikes as Yamaha's own VMAX 1200. Though the XS1100 Special is one of the quickest classic motorcycles I've ever tested, the FJ1200 is almost a second and a half quicker. So it is a really, really quick motorcycle. Unlike the XS1100 and XJ1100, the Yamaha FJ1200 features a 16-valve motor, and it manages to be blazingly fast and very relaxed feeling at the same time, which is a little bit of an odd sensation. The FJ1200 also featured a smooth shifting 5-speed transmission and chain final drive. In the braking department, the early style FJ1200 had automotive style vented disc brakes in the front, and the FJ1200 went on to be a long-lived sport touring motorcycle. I purchased this bike several years ago, and although the carburetors on it had just been cleaned, the braking system needed to be entirely rebuilt, and I also installed a brand new set of Pirelli tires that really improved the handling on this motorcycle. Let's see what it's like out on the road.
And I have to watch myself on a bike like this because it just makes it very easy to go very quickly. Oh yeah.
All right, man, what a lot of fun. It is so cool to get to ride these classic big bore Yamahas. Each of them has its own unique feel and personality, and I really like each of them in its own way. Looking at the XS1100 Special, I really like the clean styling on this bike. That big 8-valve 1100cc motor is just a smooth powerhouse. The seating position is very comfortable for a tall person. I'm 6'4", and it fits me very well. This is the kind of bike that makes me want to get out and go for longer rides and just enjoy the smoothness and comfort of that motorcycle. Drawbacks to the XS1100 would be the handling that is set up more for stability than it is for agility, as well as front brakes that don't have quite as much feel as I would like. Moving on to the XJ1100, you can definitely feel the XS1100 lineage in the XJ1100. I really like the wind protection that's offered by this bike. This machine also has that very smooth 8-valve 1100cc motor. For a cruiser-style motorcycle, the seating position on the XJ1100 was actually fairly comfortable. And once I upgraded the suspension with progressive units, both front and back, the handling on this motorcycle was really transformed, and I really enjoyed the way the Maxim transitioned side to side in the corners. It was very, very nice. On the downside is the love it or hate it styling that the Maxim has with this fairing. The Maxim also has the same, sometimes clunky transmission that the XS1100 has. And like the XS1100, I just don't care for the brakes on the XJ1100. That brings us to the FJ1200. I really enjoyed riding the FJ1200. It's one of those bikes that is very, very capable. It's easy to ride. It handles almost effortlessly. It's relatively comfortable for a sporting style motorcycle, although for a tall guy like me, it's a little bit short on legroom. The transmission in the FJ1200 was much smoother than the transmission in the XS1100 or in the XJ1100. The brakes were also much improved over the previous big bore Yamaha motorcycles. If there's a downside to the FJ1200, you get a significant amount of engine vibration. To me, this is a little bit odd because the XS1100 and XJ1100 were so smooth. These are all great motorcycles. I really enjoyed restoring each one of them, and it was really fun to get to experience these classic big bore Yamahas. My hope is that these videos will inspire you to get out and work on a classic bike, maybe do a rescue project or a restoration project. It's such a great way to get to know a bike. If you have a favorite motorcycle out of this bunch, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.